Art can change our future. Travel with me, artist John Dyer and artist Joanne. Be inspired by endangered environments, plants and animals. Learn about tribal culture. Paint, connect, exhibit and change. It's a last chance to paint.
We've come to this village that rely totally on pottery, homemade pottery, handmade pottery for their living. And look, they're literally getting the clay from their front garden and then they're making pots. It's incredible.
Potentially, it's a last chance to paint moment for the pottery. All of the clay comes from the paddy fields and the river system. And if the river systems fail, or if the rice paddies aren't working because of climate change, then the clays are going to fail and this whole way of life would fail. This is how they make the clay. They take the soil from the paddy fields and the riverbed, and then they have to break it up. So we're going to break this up with a hammer. And we keep smashing it up. And then you put this dust, these rocks, probably smaller than that, into this sieve. And then when you shake it through, you're going to get grains, which then, when added to water, will make the clay.
What they've done is they've pressed all their clay into these moulds, and then what will happen is they'll go into the kiln to be fired.
Look at this is the kiln. It's absolutely roasting hot here. Behind me you can see paddy fields. So if you wondered where your rice came from, it comes from fields like this, and they are actually flooded during the life cycle of rice, but they're dry now, which means they've harvested the rice and they've also got mounds of rice straw. So the mud that I was breaking up with the hammer comes from the paddy fields, and they use that to make the clay, to make these beautiful pots. And when they fire the clay, sometimes they add extra carbon. That extra carbon comes from the rice straw. So they're using everything. They're feeding themselves, and they're using the same raw materials to create these pots, which is a form of it's the economy for the whole village. And then they're shipped out all over India.
This little enclosed garden here, home garden, is surrounded by all these beautiful sari fabrics, and the sari fabrics act as the fence, believe it or not, because what happens is the fabric flaps and frightens away the wild boar. That's incredible, much nicer than a wooden fence that you get at home.
This is the river that feeds the village, and they also get clay from here. It looks really sandy. In fact, it's sandy just like the beaches I would expect to see around the world, but in amongst the sand is clay. So when they take it up from here and they sieve it, they get more clay. The sand stays in the sieve and the clay goes through. You'll notice as we've come down to the river and walking back, there's an awful lot of plastic pollution here. The reason you see the plastics is they just don't biodegrade. And this is a problem worldwide, whether it's in the Yawanawa tribe, whether it's in the UK or India. Plastics are a bit of a problem, the single-use plastic. So let's try and use less of them. These are magnets, all in the shape of a tiger. Come and have a look close up. So I think this is an example of how having the tiger reserves is creating extra commerce for this village. Look at this, with goats and collecting firewood. So the firewood will be used on the kilns, almost certainly, or maybe in the home. But it's all, you know, they've got the firewood, they've got the rice straw, they've got the clay, they've got the water. And they've been doing this for a very long time.
This here is a traditional wheel. It's got a hole in it, and you put the stick in the hole and you wind it round and round, and it just keeps going.
The rice paddy field creates a lot of stuff here. So you've got the paddy field itself creates the clay. You've got the rice they can eat. You've got the rice straw they can use for multiple things. Feeding the cattle, extra carbon for the pots, for growing mushrooms, and also for packing the pots for transport. Amazing.
I think I'm going to have a go at this in a minute. Come in quite hard, and I have to press in from the outside. It's quite rough. It's quite rough. I'm having to press quite hard. A bit more water. Out. Have to put my fingers out a bit. Spread it out a bit. Keep it even. Yeah, stop. There we go. And then I've got to, this. I've got to lift it up. Like that. Now that's a better one, isn't it? Just done our interview on national Indian television, all about Last Chance to Paint. And now we've come to this little village and John is sitting painting. Behind him there's all these brown seed looking things, and in fact they are lentils. They've been picked from the field and now they're drying them out. Fantastic, all in front of this beautiful greenhouse look.
Which is why we aim this at schools, and I'd love Indian schools to get involved at lastchancetopaint.com.
Second one, we have an elephant, so many birds and also butterflies there.
Yeah, that's all about biodiversity of the forest, and if we've got biodiversity then we have a well forest, if we have a well forest then we have water, if we have water we have life.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Last chance to paint! That is a clay emoji. So they also use the rice straw for feeding the cattle. So we've got rice to eat, we've got clay from the field, we've got straw from the rice to pad out the pot. So we've got rice to eat, we've got, oh you do it, I can't.
And they're also using the rice, I messed up. So